Hello, everybody. Welcome to our show today. I've always been fascinated by stories that make us think, stories that make us feel, stories that stay with us long after we finished reading them. And today, we're diving deep into one of those unforgettable stories, James Joyce's Ulysses. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Ulysses? That notoriously complex novel? Yes, that one. But trust me, beneath its challenging exterior lies a world of wisdom and insight just waiting to be discovered. Over the next hour, we're going to take a journey through the streets of Dublin alongside Leopold Bloom, a man trying to find his place in the world, just like all of us. We'll unravel the mysteries of this literary masterpiece together and uncover 5 powerful life lessons that can empower us to live richer, more meaningful lives. So, grab your favorite cup of tea, get comfortable, and get ready to unlock the secrets of Ulysses with me. Now, before we dive into the life lessons, let's take a little stroll through Dublin, shall we? Ulysses takes place on a single day, June 16, 1904, and follows the lives of 3 main characters: Leopold Bloom, a newspaper advertising salesman; Stephen Dedalus, a young writer struggling to find his voice; and Molly Bloom, Leopold's wife, a vibrant opera singer. The novel is divided into 18 episodes, each mirroring a different episode from Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey. We see the ordinary moments of their lives: breakfast, work, lunch, a funeral, a trip to the pub, all rendered in exquisite detail. We witness their thoughts, their desires, their frustrations, their joys. Think of it like peeking into the windows of their souls. Through their experiences, Joyce paints a vivid portrait of life in Dublin at the turn of the 20th century. We see the city's bustling streets, its pubs and theaters, its homes and workplaces. But more than just a portrait of a place, Ulysses is a profound exploration of the human condition. It's about the search for meaning and connection in a world that often feels fragmented and chaotic. Now let's talk about our main man, Leopold Bloom. He's not a hero in the traditional sense. He's just an ordinary man trying to navigate the ups and downs of life. He loves his wife, even though their relationship is strained. He mourns the loss of his infant son. He grapples with feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. Throughout the day, Bloom encounters various challenges: professional setbacks, social snubs, even a near-physical altercation. But through it all, he keeps going. He shows up for his life even when it's difficult, even when it's painful. And that, my friends, is a powerful lesson in resilience. Bloom's journey reminds us that life isn't always easy, but it's always worth living. Now let's turn our attention to young Stephen Dedalus, a character who embodies the universal yearning for self-discovery. Stephen is a young man full of intellectual curiosity and artistic ambition. He's searching for his place in the world, trying to understand himself and his purpose. Sound familiar? Don't we all go through that? That feeling of wanting to make our mark on the world, to figure out who we are and what we're meant to do? Stephen's journey is one of self-discovery, of breaking free from the constraints of tradition and expectation. He rebels against the rigid structures of Irish society and the Catholic Church, seeking his own truth and forging his own path. And that's what self-discovery is all about, isn't it? It's about questioning, exploring, and ultimately defining ourselves on our own terms. It's about having the courage to be true to ourselves, even if it means going against the grain. Now, Stephen's journey isn't always pretty. He stumbles, he falls, he makes mistakes along the way, but through it all, he learns and he grows. He embraces his individuality and discovers the power of his own voice. And that's the beauty of the journey, isn't it? It's not about being perfect. One of the things that strikes me most about Ulysses is how deeply human it is. Despite its complexity, it's a story about relationships, about the connections that bind us together. Throughout the novel, we see characters from all walks of life: shopkeepers, barflies, artists, housewives, interacting with each other, sharing their stories, their dreams, their disappointments. We see the tenderness between Bloom and his wife Molly, despite the pain of their past. We see the bond of friendship between Bloom and Stephen, 2 lost souls finding solace in each other's company. And in these moments of connection, we see the true heart of the novel. You see, Ulysses reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. It shows us that even in the midst of chaos and uncertainty, human connection is possible. It reminds us of the importance of empathy, of seeing the world through the eyes of others. So take a moment today to reach out to someone you care about. Now, one thing you can't escape in Ulysses is the theme of change. The novel itself is a testament to the ever-changing nature of life, to the ebb and flow of time and experience. We see it in the city of Dublin itself, a city on the cusp of modernity, grappling with its past while hurtling towards an uncertain future. We see it in the lives of the characters, each at a crossroads, facing personal and societal shifts. Bloom, for instance, is struggling to come to terms with his wife's infidelity and his own sense of displacement. Stephen is grappling with his artistic ambitions and his desire to break free from the constraints of his upbringing. And Molly, in her own way, is navigating the complexities of marriage and motherhood. Change is inevitable, isn't it? It's a constant in our lives, and yet we often resist it. But Ulysses teaches us that embracing change, even when it's uncomfortable, is essential for growth. You know, one of the things that makes Ulysses so revolutionary is its use of stream of consciousness, a literary technique that allows us to delve into the innermost thoughts and feelings of the characters. We hear their unfiltered thoughts, their doubts, their desires, their fears. It's like being inside their heads, experiencing the world through their eyes. And through this intimate portrayal, Joyce invites us to turn inward, to examine our own thoughts and motivations. He encourages us to confront our own complexities, to embrace the full spectrum of our humanity. Now, introspection can be a daunting task, can't it? It requires us to be honest with ourselves, to confront the parts of ourselves we might rather keep hidden. But it's in those moments of self-reflection that we truly begin to understand who we are. Well, that was quite a journey, wasn't it? We've explored the streets of Dublin, delved into the minds of Leopold Bloom and Stephen Dedalus, and uncovered some powerful life lessons along the way. And while Ulysses may be a challenging read, I hope you've seen that it's also a deeply rewarding one. It's a novel that stays with you long after you've finished reading it, prompting you to see the world and yourself in a new light. Remember, life, like literature, is a journey of discovery. It's about embracing the unknown, learning from our experiences, and connecting with others along the way. So keep exploring, keep questioning, keep growing. And if you're ever feeling lost, remember the words of James Joyce himself: mistakes are the portals of discovery.